Hello from the Dreamport Discord server. I'm ShadowsPub, bringing you Pimp Your Post Thursday. On the show today, we'll share posts, meet others, and have some fun. You can share your own post or someone else's you really like. To take part, drop the PYPT emoji into the show text channel. I'll add you to the list to take a turn sharing posts. When I call on you, add your post link to the text channel and come on voice to tell us about it. Keep it brief, like a short commercial for the post. If you can't do voice, it's okay. You can share by text, but text and the link must be ready to paste into the text channel when I call on you. You have more than one turn, but you must use the emoji for each turn. Alright. Turn that screen on. And Peace is going to lead us off. He's going to keep it peaceful.
Yeah, see, peace wasn't that kind of peace I was talking about when I came up with my name. I should have put loud and noisy, but anyway, we'll come back to that another day. We'll deal with that another day. But
well, you could always say you made your name up with tongue-in-cheek.
There we go, let's go with that. Right, so today, I'm actually doing something a little bit different. We had, a few years ago, the insanity of the sugar tax imposed on us in Britain by our government. Some of you may know what it is, some of you may not, but probably most of you won't know much about it. So this was the government's idea to combat obesity levels that are increasing in the United Kingdom, and sugary drinks was what they targeted. And so they put in a sugar tax. It wasn't like sugar on cakes or biscuits, it was just fizzy drinks. And this was on the surface perhaps a noble endeavour, but my mind soon changed when I looked into it all, and I was like, oh no, this is not going to work. So what they did was they said any fizzy drinks that have a certain amount of sugar gets an extra, I think it's 12% in tax that the company had to pay. And they brought it in. I was completely against it, and it was the brainwave of that celebrity TV chef Jamie Oliver. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you know who I'm talking about. He was worried about kids' diets, and that's fair enough. You know, I'm with him on that. But to bring in it to go for a taxation approach to this problem of kids' obesity and adult obesity was just completely not the right way to go about it. So what the drinks companies did in response to this was they reformulated. Most of them have now reformulated all their drinks. So like Pepsi, Fanta, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, they've reformulated it and taken a lot of the sugar out and replaced it with sweeteners, and it tastes like crap now. And it's like, are you serious? You've ruined your drinks. You've crowned them with sweeteners, which isn't a great thing in itself anyway. And you've done this so you don't pay a bit of extra tax. Why didn't you just lobby the government to say, look, let people decide for themselves if they want a sugary drink? You know, it is supposed to be a treat after all. You're not supposed to be drinking it by the gallonful every day. So unfortunately, they've ruined their drinks. And that drink you see in the image there, on the cover image, San Pellegrino, I used to really like their drinks. But since they reformulated, as you can see at the top there, it says tastefully light. That tells you they've reformulated. And it really should say tastelessly light. It is gross, and it's so many of the fizzy drinks now. Even Dr. Pepper, which used to be my favourite drink, is now no good. So Coca-Cola and Cherry Coke, thankfully, haven't reformulated yet, and I can still enjoy that. So that is something. Pepsi have just reformulated last year, and there's in the posts I've highlighted two supermarkets, and the reviews are just 1 star. All of them 1 star. It has gone spectacularly bad for Pepsi with their reformulation, and I just hope these drinks companies rethink their approach and change things. As I say, sugar's not a great thing for you. I know it isn't, but we should be able to make that decision ourselves. And don't forget, if governments are prepared to do this, why not start reformulating cakes and biscuits and chocolate? You know, everything's going to taste tasteless soon. And with governments, you've got to think cynically sometimes. In fact, quite a lot of the time you have. So the sugar tax might be just one thing. What about a fat tax, or a carbs tax, or a salt tax, a calorie tax? You never know where it's going to end. So it's been absolute disaster, this has. And just to say, lastly, the evidence is there, because the obesity rates have not fallen; they've actually increased. It just hasn't worked at all.
So take a look into those sweeteners that they're using to replace the sugar. And if you dig into them, you're going to find that most of them are suspected of contributing to cancer rates, as well as actually making the obesity issue worse. If they really want to tackle something, they would tackle processed foods, especially the highly processed foods. But that would get all of the food producers on their necks, so they'll just target drinks, and that'll make it easier. That's the game.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. And do you know what? The whole sweetness thing, I put a sentence in the post. That really is left for another post in itself, because that's a whole debate there, and absolutely it's worthy of research, because sweeteners are not good for you. But I just wanted to say one other thing, actually. What the government should do, and the common sense approach to this issue is, what about an education campaign to tell those, to teach those parents who are allowing their children too much sugar in their diets, hey, why don't you moderate their sugar consumption? You are the parents after all.
Part of the problem is that those sugary treats often are more affordable than proper whole food. So people that are on low incomes, you run into a lot of that.
Absolutely. No, don't get me wrong. There's different sides to this argument, but I don't see why the entire population needs to pay more now. It's about an extra 12% just to enjoy a can of Coke or cherry Coke, because some parents, perhaps, or some kids are, over consuming sugar. I get there's links here to poverty and people who live on the breadline. I'm not trying to discount that, but education is key here.
They're basically trying to apply what worked for alcohol and cigarettes to food.
Yes.
It's apples and oranges.
Absolutely. Did they raise the taxes for fast food like McDonald's and stuff as well?
Not over here, they haven't, no.
Oh, they should go for that. That's their biggest culprit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so sure about this whole approach to taxing people to teach people to eat healthy. I'm not sure that's the right way, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Putting a tax on it isn't what helps. It's, foods that are being processed, they need to be taking a good hard look at the processing of them, and that's a manufacturer level. That's not a consumer level.
No, absolutely. That is the better approach, in my opinion. It's taxing to try and direct people's behaviour, eating habits, to try and influence that in a certain direction. I'm afraid is a mixed bag of results, and perhaps it's done its job with smoking. I wouldn't even apply taxation as a way of reducing alcohol consumption levels, if I'm honest with you. Most of this is education, not taxation. And don't forget, governments make extra money as well. And it's just all a cynical way of dealing with this issue.
I think a big part of what's brought it down here has been the severity of the penalties for drinking and driving has made people stop and think twice about the amount they have to drink and where they drink it. What were you going to say, Wandering Moon?
This whole conversation reminds me of a line from Ever After with Drew Barrymore, where she's talking to the prince, and she quotes a line from the book Utopia, something along the lines of, a man is exposed to his first education as something, and then he's later punished for that same thing. So the question in the end is, what else is to be, what else is to be something other than that you first teach them how to do it and then you punish them for what you've taught them how to do?
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And, while I agree about the education part of it, have you ever looked at the amount of nonsense you go through to try to find out what eating healthy for your system is like? The diet industry is all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Horrible.
And your doctor's not going to help. They only get a few hours of dietary training.
I mean, look, a lot of this is instinctive. Okay, you've got to apply common sense and use your instincts. Okay, so that's the key here. Not to have some kind of centralized authority like a government tell us what we should eat, what we can't eat. You know, that's the wrong approach. You know, go back 100 years. In fact, go back 50 years. Even then, we were more instinctive creatures. We seem to be so reliant on government for this and that, and all this regulation it's just the wrong way to do it.
Well, I'm not even talking about regulation. It's just the fact that you can't get everybody on the same page as to what's healthy and what isn't.
Oh no, there's a absolutely a whole difference of opinion in what's healthy and what's not. No, absolutely, that's a debate that I'll just carry on and on.
Oh yeah.
Who here remembers when they were touting, was it in the 70s or 80s, about how eggs were really, really healthy for you, and now eggs add cholesterol?
Oh, we've been down the complete gamut on that one. The eggs and butter were really healthy for you, and then they were really bad for you. Now we're back to they're actually healthy. We're good with that.
Well, this is it. I mean, which do you think is better, butter or margarine? I mean, I probably wouldn't touch margarine now. I think butter's better for you, given what's in margarine.
Yep.
Well, and a lot, too, depends on lifestyle, because I know generations ago people were buttering their toast with whole butter, eating a lot of eggs. They would eat fatty breakfast sausages, but then they would go out in the fields and they would work all day. The stuff we're not doing nowadays.
Exactly.
Lifestyle makes a huge difference.
Well said. We're not as active as we should be. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's probably a conversation that we could have all day long, but we can't. So, thank you, Peace. Jay, you're up.
Well, we have had hard conversations that have gone on all day.
This is true. We have.
From one Pimp Your Post Thursday session to another.
And we're going to go from food to joy. Tell us, Jay.
Yeah. So early in my university days, or let me say throughout my time in the university, I used to sing in the beginning, then I moved on to play the guitar. And my issue was uniform. I was living on my allowances, and the choir would always need every. Sometimes we need to make the Sony ones, or just. So I understand how it is to have to minister on Sunday, not have the right uniform. I mean, there's nothing particularly about looking different. It just gives the complete color when you're in uniform. So I found already made a top. I think that's the uniform for a young boy. I don't know if he sings or plays an instrument. I chance to be the ones that play instruments and singers to be the singers. But she made the uniform for him, and I think that's really, really kind. I don't think Marvy, the boy, knows what's coming for him this Sunday, but I think it's really lovely. And this needlework post is about how she made it.
A uniform that doesn't look like a uniform. That's kind of a good thing.
Uniform. Yeah, I guess maybe other people would have the same material, or I don't know, dress similarly. I'm not sure, but that's just the uniform.
Well, if a group of people were together and they all had the same material, you'd kind of see it as a uniform. But if the person was traveling between venues, it would just look like a vibrantly colored top. It's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right, actually. That's right.
Very cool. Thank you, Jay. Your mic was cutting out a little bit on you. Not a lot, but enough that I noticed it.
Yeah, I'm mobile. It happens. I'm not sure.
Mobile. Lucky you. All right. Thank you, Jay. And Wandering Moon, you're up.
I am here. Give me a second. My phone just
Okay. And Calvin has won the 1 HBI.
Oh, damn, I forgot to enter. Is it too late?
Well, you can get in for the 3, the 5, and the NFT.
Okay.
Anybody else that hasn't entered, go to the Draws for Show channels.
Okay, this is a creative post where she goes through how she made an outfit, but she made a mistake in the very beginning she had to fix.
Oops.
Oops.
Kind of like a boo-boo.
It's those recoveries from those mistakes that make the difference.
And they're easy mistakes to make.
Yeah. But sometimes the little creativity, and they can be covered without having to rip it all back out again.
And product's beautiful.
It is. Very nice. And Calvin, you're up. I think he's with us. Calvin. There he is. He was getting his link. Okay, Calvin, come off the mic.
Okay.
There you go. Go for it.
So the post, this was a high level. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is an eyeliner from the topic for centered around family bond. It made me remember what my mom used to say concerning the family that together, the family that eats together, stays together, and in as much as that sounds quite, would I say, it sounds somehow when you listen to the phrase that begins with the family that eats together, stays together. But then I didn't really understand the importance of a family eating together. So I just took it casually until I started staying alone. And I started seeing that there is this kind of connection you get from someone you eat with, especially when you eat with them from the same place. It's not everybody that you get to do it with, but those people that you get to do it with, the kind of connection you have with them. So just read the post. It just talks about family bonding and all. Thank you.
Well, this was timely. Family bonds are often considered by people at Thanksgiving, for better or for worse. Thanksgiving is not always a pleasant experience for everybody, but a lot of people could make the best of the situation. Good timing. Thank you, Calvin. And Kitty Girl.
We have several people on the blockchain that are very accomplished in certain things, and Amy is a seamstress that does some dazzling work. This outfit is just stunning, in my opinion. And the funny thing is the top is one color, and it's made of lace, and it has a certain pattern to it, which really you would think would contrast with the pants that she made from silk because of the color and the pattern. But it just somehow works so well together. It is stunning.
It does.
It's a beautiful outfit. It's fantastic. And she has done such a good job designing this outfit. The young lady that wanted it gave her a clue as to what she wanted. And then Amy kind of fleshed out the concept and put it together and made it happen, and she is just so good. I'm very impressed.
She really does do some beautiful work, doesn't she? Not that we're talking about you, Amy. Nice photos, too, to present it. Nice job. Thank you, kitty girl. And Bipolar, you're up. Once you get a minute or two from trying to get some HBD from NChem. Oh, hopefully she's off getting her link. There she is.
Okay, so this is a good evening, everyone. This is a. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, so this is a response to one of the Inyo prompts about urban legends. So maybe remember a story that I heard on one of my field work, and it was quite a sad one, like a really sad one, because I'm a mom and I don't think I would. I've read a lot of stories about spirituality and how you have to like sacrifice what you love the most to prove a point. So I kind of like resonate with this story because I'm a mom and I basically would not put my child's life on the line because I need to save a bunch of people. I'm sorry, I cannot do that. So instead take me. So if that would solve the problem. So this legend is kind of like about a queen that people were being kidnapped and taken into slavery, and then she had to like sought the guidance of an oracle, and the oracle directed her to a river goddess who she kind of like had a pact with. And to know what happened at the end of the day, I'm not going to be a spoiler. Do well to check it out. Thank you.
Good commercial. Thank you, Bipolar. Yeah, I can't think of any stories where a parent would put their own child in danger to save others. They might put themselves in danger to save others, but not their child.
Yeah, well, quite unfortunately, when you watch movies, especially some of our Nollywood movies, and then you read the story from the Bible about Abraham, and Abraham got lucky because God said, oh, don't worry, just use the lamb instead, you passed the test. But not everybody get lucky because, you know, sometimes some of these things that people get involved with, they will just want to take what you are going to feel so much pain with. So at that particular point, even if you want to offer yourself, the oracle might say, no, I don't need you. It's going to be too easy. So that's just it. I just really unfortunate that somebody has to go through the pain of sacrificing their child.
Interesting. Thank you, Bipolar.
You're welcome.
And Amy, you're up. Yeah, we'll give her a moment there. She's probably getting her link. There she is. All right, Amy.
Hey, hello everyone. Good
Hello.
evening, good morning, good afternoon. So this post is a post I wrote about isolation and connection. A lot of people feel like they need to isolate themselves to find peace because of their past experience. Probably they've been hurt before in their previous relationship or their friendship and the likes. So they just feel like rather connecting, they rather be on their own. But I talked about loneliness and how loneliness is a punishment to our well-being. Because even in prison, prisoners are isolated. They don't have that freedom of movement because loneliness is punishment. So you can check it out and see how connection helps us to thrive as humans because we are all social beings and what connection does to us. And then I shared a very good music to back it up. So you can check it out. Thank you.
Connection is an important feature of life. Because we're all interconnected, whether we realize it or not. We just connect in different ways. Sorry, Peace, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, absolutely. We, as a species, we are absolutely interconnected. and as you just said there, sort of on different levels. Sometimes you're completely on the same page as someone, and that's great when that happens. Other times it might take a bit of effort. Sometimes there is the rare occasion when it's like, do you know what? I just don't think we're ever going to get on. But hey, that's life.
Even those ones, there's probably something that you're connected with because they've been brought into your circle, but you just haven't found it yet, and maybe it's not something to go looking for.
Well, yeah, this is it. Sometimes you get the most wonderful surprises. You can form an opinion of someone, and then you're like, actually, do you know what? I didn't know that person so well after all, and I've got more in common than I realised with him or her. So
yeah.
You get these nice surprises sometimes.
Yeah, there's some people that we kind of give up on because, so much of what they present does not resonate. But always keep the open mind, just in case.
Absolutely. Keep that mind totally open.
All right. Thank you, Amy. And NChem, you are up. And Tori has won the 3 HBI. Tori's not still with us. Did she stay or did she drop out recently?
She was here for a little bit.
Okay. She maybe had a network issue. Okay, NChem. Oh, NChem has typed us something in here. So I'll let this load. Spicy plantain and yam. Yam hush. Oh, that's part of the actual dish name. It's not telling me to shut up. So I came across this awesome post from George of the Jungle. He shared a simple and delicious recipe for spicy plantain and yam hush. If you are a foodie like NChem, then check the recipe. Looks quite tasty, actually. Tori just said the network's bad.
Is groundnut like peanut? What's groundnut?
Is that part of the recipe?
Ground nuts are what they call peanuts in Nigeria.
Cool.
Yeah, there's some recipes you probably have to have a chat with ChatGPT about the ingredients. As to whether we can find them here in our neck of the woods or an equivalent. Oh, old school's next. We'll just tag them. There we go. Hive brings crypto micropayments to AI images. Ooh. Be safe, bipolar. I need to have a look at that one. So,
well, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm seriously looking at getting into one of these.
Into generative art?
Yeah. I was thinking of taking a look at, I think you call it, is it
Midjourney is the one I use. If you're using ChatGPT, there's generative art built into it.
Oh, okay.
Which can be a good one to get started on. Artemis is quite good with DALL-E, which is built into ChatGPT.
Oh, okay, maybe I'll start with that then.
Yeah, but the thing about ChatGPT's art generation is if you're on the free service, you only get 4 generations a day. Other than that, if you're paying for whatever package, then you get whatever per package.
4 generations a day could work as a starting point, I think.
Yeah. I think you can do pretty well what you want to with the paid. I've never hit a limit on it. Have you, Artemis? You use it more
No,
than me.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. And it's been a long time since I hit a limit on text queries with ChatGPT. You get a real bang for your buck for the $20 a month.
Let's give us a memory on that.
Pardon me?
Being that I'm using the free service,
Mm-hmm.
whenever I go in to ask a question, the memory is full. And basically what that means is you can't start an entirely new conversation on a topic you haven't already had and then try and go into another conversation on that same topic, and it won't remember what conversation it had previously to that.
I don't think I've ever run into that. Have you, Artemis?
No, I haven't. I wonder if that's because we use the paid version.
That could be.
That's interesting, because I asked ChatGPT and I said it gave me it pretty much told me it didn't matter whether I was on the paid service or the free service, that it would still be memory full. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it was leading you on. It was leading you on there. It certainly does. Now, mind you, I have what they call memory turned on in my settings, and that allows it to remember our conversations across conversations, because I'm doing so much work with it with the daily echoes. Instead of having to retell it in every chat, it will remember from one to the other.
Yeah, I have that too, but like I said, when I'm going into a topic I have not had a conversation with ChatGPT, and I try to go into another one to ask something similar but different, it won't remember the previous conversation. Any other conversation on any topic that I've had with it previously, it will remember though.
So it sounds like the memory's not necessarily updating. Go into a new chat and just say to it, "What do you know about me?" and see what it puts in there. That'll give you an idea how much it's actually retained with your conversations.
Oh, that is a good eye-opener. I did that the other day. I asked, who am I?
Yeah, there are some interesting ways to explore AI and what's going on behind the scenes. All right. Jay, you're up. I see him say, "Oh, well." Oh, there he is. He's typing. We'll give him a moment there to get his stuff in there. We're waiting, Jay. There we go. All right. Tell us about this. If you're talking, you're muted.
Yeah, I was trying to switch.
You were doing a wonderful speech to yourself.
Yeah. So I think I said it just now. Right, so I think it's one thing to enjoy sewing, it's another to try creatively sewing. And Abinal here shared a transformation from her pair of jeans into this corset top. I think it's really brilliant. I think it's really cool how you have to draft. And I know people who draft on maybe cardboards. I think she didn't have that, and then she had to merge pieces of paper to be able to draft on. It was all just really creative actually, and that's something that's consistent with her work.
There's some good.
Yeah, I'm sharing it.
There's some good work there, isn't it?
Yeah, I personally appreciate works made with hands. I think that's like another level of creativity. No, I'm not aspiring to be a tailor. I can't.
You can't. I thought you were interested in this.
No, I'm interested in supporting those that are interested in it.
Ah. There's somebody that I know on the platform. It's a guy who is into fashion design, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name. Oh well, it'll come to me at some point. For some reason I was thinking it might be you.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I don't even know how to handle needle very fine, actually.
I will mention the one thing that I've learned for sure is don't point the pointed end towards you.
I think I know that one.
Okay, long as you know that, you got the basics.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay. And Kitty Girl, you're up.
Well, in various parts around the globe, there are businesses that accept Hive-backed dollars, HBD, as payment. There is a platform newly launched attached to Hive called Distriator that you can go to distriator.com. There is an app that you can download, and it will it leverages somehow leverages the V4V Lightning app to Bitcoin with Hive, and it enables you to make this payment with HBD. It's really cool. And also they have an account on the platform. I'll drop the link there, the Distriator. You can read more about it there as well. And Starkers made a presentation at HiveFest about the whole thing. So if you go back to the links to HiveFest and watch his presentation, you'll learn more. But there's people on the blockchain using Hive-backed dollars in stores to buy physical goods. It's happening in Nigeria, it's happening in Venezuela. I think there's a couple of places in Costa Rica, Mexico, I forget now. But they're growing. There's more and more popping up. So if you're interested in doing this, keep an eye out for it, and then you can download the app when it comes to your area.
Very nice. I was kind of surprised Brian of London was not involved in this, or he's probably got a hand in it.
Well, I'm sure he probably is, because he's big with the Lightning thing.
Well, he created the Lightning.
Involved in the project, the Distriator project. I forget who all's involved, but there's several people involved. Yeah, it's not just a one-person operation.
It's probably a collaboration. Well, it makes perfect sense, because the Lightning program actually runs off of the Hive backbone, so it makes sense to build stuff off of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it created a good portal for other things to hop on board.
And it's good to see them using it. It'll be interesting to see where it ends up going. One of these days, Hive is going to explode into the awareness of other people, and they're going to be going, where did this come from? Thank you, Kitty Girl. And Amy, you're up. And Abinad has won the 5 HBI. There she is. Now that's quite a title. Call or text, which is your lifeline? Tell us about this, Amy.
Hey, so this is a response to the in-lieu prompt. I wrote this yesterday. The question is, in a case of an emergency, would you rather call or text? I wrote my own point of view based on experience. My sister is someone that I can call for years and she won't take her calls, but as soon as I send her a text message, she responds immediately. While my mom is someone, if I text, she will never respond. But as soon as I call her, she picks her call immediately. So this means that different strokes for different folks. And I wrote my experience with social media as well, how I see social media as a helpful tool to reach out to people in a case of an emergency. Like when I went to get my dummy, you can read the story, because if I give you the whole details, you will not want to read. So go check out why I concluded that I would rather do WhatsApp calls or chats or calls than SMS. You can check it out. Thank you.
WhatsApp is an app I don't use.
I love the picture with that post too. That is a beautiful piece of fabric. I love the sparkly case the phone's sitting on. It's just so lovely. Colors and patterns.
It is, actually. These creative folks, I don't know what to do with them, Kitty Girl. We'll just appreciate them, I guess.
I know, and there's so many, and we're blessed to have that many come into Pimp Your Post Thursday.
Absolutely. All right. Oh, we got Old School back up. There we go. I'll give him a moment. He's probably got a waiting, if we know him. I see him typing. Yep. And ROAMD. War never changes. Oh, wait, it finally does. Now, there's a topic to watch. So he says it's actually about fighting monsters, not warring with other players. It's a fun Discord game and free to play. And if I recall previous times he's brought this game up, if you contact him, like DM him, he'll get you hooked up with it. If you're interested in playing it.
Are there many Discord games about it? Or is this just like a one-off? Or
I don't know. Let's just ask.
Well, I know of at least 2 or 3 other Discord games. I'm not sure how many there are total.
He's typing there.
Because I've often thought it would be quite good to use Hive in conjunction with Discord to create some kind of like treasure hunt game or adventure game. You know, I think there could be a lot done with the two platforms.
So Artemis, Dreamsteam used to do treasure hunts on posts. She would get a group of posts to agree to participate, and they would kind of bury these little nuggets in the post, and then she would use PYPT to ask people. She would give out the list of the posts, and people were to go and visit them during the week. And then at PYPT, she would ask questions, and the people who had actually visited the posts and paid attention would be able to actually know what the answers were, and they would win a prize.
Ah, that's brilliant. So a bit of trivia around it as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way of doing it, because you're kind of testing people's memory skills in many ways, but also making sure they've found the buried treasure, discovered things. That's a great way of doing it.
So that's actually where she picked up the nickname of the Captain Dreamstein, because she would play a pirate character when she was doing it.
Excellent. But I just think there is, yes, quite a bit of potential there for the two platforms to interact in a kind of game format.
So Old School says, I don't think so. This is in response to, are there many Discord games? He said, I don't think so. There's one still in alpha, and just recently the token was created on Hive. It's called Favor.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll look out for that one as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting that they tokenized it as well. That's very interesting.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
Yeah. Be able to win the token through the game, and be interested to see what kind of economy they develop around it.
Sure.
All right. Now, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. I'll go with the last part. Chi? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Are you, Kitty Girl?
I don't know for sure, but I would say Onyenye Chi, but I don't know.
All right, Chi. Come on, voice, and tell us first how to pronounce your name, and second, tell us about the post. I didn't catch that.
The name is Onyenye.
Onion Chi? Did that come close?
No.
That figures. Yeah, I'm not getting it. I'm awful with names, I will tell you that. Is this your name on Hive as well?
Yes, it's my name on Hive.
Is this your post that you're sharing with us? Yes, it is the same name on Hive. All right, tell us about this post.
The post is a non-fiction about myself when I was younger, or when I went to the dentist.
Can you come in a little closer to your mic?
The post is about me when I was younger. And it's all about me attending the dentist when I was younger. I wrote to the to just summarize the post. I came back one day from school and my philosopher was brokering. I asked my mom to say, okay, you know this fine lady is going to change it for me, and 2 hours she changed it. And so I noticed myself, you no longer live the way you live before. First the baby, I gave him but I thought there was only to. Oh, when it was time to go back to school after the holidays, I noticed that my mom didn't drop my school uniform where it's normally was, where it's normally to see. And I asked her what's happening. She was like, baby, you're no longer going to your normal school. You have to go to a very like school. I wasn't really happy because I had friends, so I had people I could share and we first children the plane with so close to the main. Well, I have to go to my new school because mommy said so. I need to go and see it. And later I found out because I had 5 older students. And later I realized that I wasn't the only one affected. Because I thought they say that all the others didn't continue going to I'll be educated to the back. So we have to go because mommy said so. And now since we have the others before me are all graduates now. And I'm going to find out in next year where my younger brother is and where he is. So that's why we try to become as a shop. Become as a shop, sorry. Almost done.
Okay. I was having a lot of problem trying to hear you. It was like you were coming in and out on your mic. Some of your words came in clear and some we missed. Jay has spelled out your name as Onyenye. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it's kind of close.
Is it close?
Yes, close.
Yeah, your mic is really struggling on you. But welcome to PYPT and great effort. Well, that sounded close and loud. Try again.
Thank you.
There! That was beautiful and clear. That might be your network giving you issues too. All right, let's check her post out. Give it some love. In fact, check out everybody's post and give it some love. Jay, you're up. And who won the NFT?
I won the NFT.
Peace and Money won the NFT. There you go.
Yay!
And there will be a new NFT out next week.
What did it do, though? Well, we'll talk about that later. I think Ollie wants to present his post.
If you could build it. Digiprompts. Okay. Alright, Jay. Tell us about this.
Okay, so there was a new prompt. I think, yes, last Saturday. No, not that I think. I released it actually. Encouraging people to think of anything at all that could make life much easier or exciting for them, or maybe someone else, and say they had the opportunity to create it with technology. That they tell us what it would be and how exactly we change things for them or wherever they would build it for. And there were really interesting entries. I think I'll share one or two after now, but I wanted to just share this prompt.
Alright.
In the digital lifestyle community, yeah.
That looks interesting. Alright. Thank you, Jay. And Kitty Girl, you're up.
Well, there's a type of squash called spaghetti squash because the inside of it, when it's cooked, is kind of consisting of long fibrous strings similar to spaghetti. And I have known some people who are vegan, especially, and maybe people that are allergic to the gluten in flour, to use spaghetti squash as spaghetti and put a sauce on it. Most sauces, though, are really watery, tomato sauce based, or maybe pesto with some chunks of meat or other things in there. This person has actually made a very, very thick sauce with papaya to add a sweetness to it, as well as tomato and onion and a little bit of meat. And that thick sauce served on top of the spaghetti squash just looks so good. It makes my mouth water just looking at the picture. I've always enjoyed spaghetti squash, but I've never had it fixed, with the sauce type stuff on it like that. I usually just, put it in the oven with some butter and salt and pepper and bake it for a while and then just eat it as is on the side. But I like this idea of making a really thick sauce, maybe using a sweet fruit like papaya, along with the meat and the tomato and onion, and it just looks so good. I want to try this.
Papaya makes
the other foodies.
Papaya makes a lot of sense because it's not a strong flavored fruit.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But it would be harder to get this time of year in places where it doesn't grow naturally.
True. You never know. I would imagine too, that you could probably get a couple of batches out of it, because most papayas are a fair size.
That's true, and I'm sure it would probably freeze well. Most spaghetti sauces freeze well.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. The creativity that people put into cooking.
I know, it's really fascinating, and we've got some accomplished chefs on the Hive platform. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, but I don't dare try all those recipes. Or I'd have to go very small portions of all of them. All right, thank you, Kitty Girl. Jay, you're up. I think he's up. No, he's not. Where are you, Jay? There he is. Look at Techno Man today. Alright, tell us about this.
Yeah, so this is one of the entries we had in the digital lifestyle community for the prompt I just talked about a few minutes ago. And B, with a lot of ease, described how she would develop a virtual wardrobe organizer, a mood responsive music app as well. And I'm just going to stop there. There's more details in the post if you look.
Yeah, there's lots of detail in the post. Check that out. Nice. Thank you, Jay. Can you what?
Can I show one more post?
Okay.
Just give me a few seconds to grab it.
So while he's grabbing that, I will mention to people that December the 10th, mark that on your calendar, Go Brunch is having its next expo. It's only going to be a one-day affair because, after all, there's so many holidays going on at Christmas time. Who's going to tie up 2 days? So it's on the 10th, and I believe it starts at 8 Pacific, which would be 11 a.m. Eastern. And it runs for 10 hours. So pretty well every time zone will be able to touch it, base with it at some point.
Is there a particular theme for this expo?
No. Each room does what they wish. I do know that there's at least one room has Christmas decorations, right, Artemis?
Yes, I had to do it.
All right. Tell me about this, Jay.
Yeah. So, I heard about this book like many times from different people. I wasn't really into reading books then. Until I saw someone at home. I read it. It's a small book, but it actually holds very interesting insights on how to actually do better financially. More interestingly, though, is that they're not anything out of the ordinary. They're just common sense stuff. Common sense and logic that's not really common amongst people. For example, if you're earning $100 or $1,000 monthly, and at the end of the month you really have nothing less than $1,000, there's no way you're going to be able to accumulate to even begin to invest. That's one of the things this book talks about. But it not only talks about these basic financial ideas or insights. It talks about seizing opportunity, how working hard is important, and the way it put everything together was really, really good, with the kinds of stories from the time of Babylon. And the book is written in Old English. Yeah, Old English was very challenging at first for me to really go through. It's like reading King James Bible. But I warmed up to it, and I would say I really, really enjoyed the book, and it's like inspired me to check out more financial books.
So another one you might want to read is called The Acres of Diamonds. That's another classic in that genre.
The Acres of Diamonds.
Acres of Diamonds. Okay. I think the two of them may have actually been written around the same time.
By Russell Hornbowl.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And then
that was one of my personal favorites, Shadows.
Was it? And there's As a Man Thinketh by James Allen.
I've read that one, but I particularly liked the Acres of Diamonds.
Yeah, I did too.
Can I ask when you guys read this book? What year?
I was really an old broad. No. Oh, it was probably 25 or 30 years ago.
Oh, that's
I
not
actually
bad,
heard
though.
I actually heard the audio probably somewhere in the last 10 years for the first time.
Okay.
But I believe the book was written in 1915. I have an actual hard copy here.
Yeah, there was a rash of them kind of came out around that time that were pretty good.
What'd you say?
I said there was a bunch of them came out around that time that were pretty good.
You mean such books? Okay.
You had a question you wanted to ask me. Did you want to do that before you go, Peace?
Oh, the NFT, I think, was it? Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yes.
What, how do I claim that? Because do you know what, Shadows? I had another one from you a few weeks back, but I don't know where you send it. Where do you claim it?
Okay, so it's done in the NFT showroom, and you'll find the link on in the recap post.
Okay.
Okay, and you log in there. You could use Keychain to log in because it's on Hive, and you go into your account, look into your collections, and you'll find the NFT.
Oh, cool.
Oh, he's gonna send it to me as a surprise Christmas present. Awesome.
You never know. I need to see what it is though before I can make any decision.
If you scroll back up and it draws for Show Channel, you'll find a picture of what it looks like this month.
Awesome. Well, I will check that out. So thank you very much for that.
And the new one comes out next month.
Log into NFT Showroom with your Hive username and your posting key, and you'll be good to go.
Or just use Keychain.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Later.
All right, so we'll wrap up the recording. You've been listening to ShadowsPub host Pimp Your Post Thursday. Thank you for joining us at PYPT, and join us next Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Until then, keep on creating, and it's all about community. And bye, Wilma.